Hey, board gamers, BJ from Game Gumbo here. I'm taking a look at a game that we have loved ever since we first played it, ever since we first heard about it and wanted to play it, and that's Sea Salt and Paper. But the fine folks at Pandasaurus Games sent us a copy of Extra Salt, which we've been playing on BGA, but I've never played in person, so I figured I'd go ahead and open it up right here. Let's get right to the table and see what's inside this little tiny expansion. All right, Sea Salt and Paper, one of our favorite games that came out recently. It's by Bruno Cathala, and it is for 4 players. It's basically a set collection game on steroids because you're either collecting cards for points or you're collecting cards for a smaller point, but the chance to do some powers. And of course, the kicker is the mermaids. If you can collect all 4 mermaids, you win the whole game. So that's Sea Salt and Paper. It's known for its absolutely... I always forget, Theo Riviere is also one of the designers. The copy I have came from VJ Bell. Thank you, Jay. It came all the way from Germany to England, to Pittsburgh, to Lafayette. So it had a lot of travels. But got Sea Salt and Paper, the Extra Salt expansion. And Jay, I'm not sure if you've ever played it. All right, so we've got... Share Your Win, the master of Sea Salt and Paper, more origami art, and that's what this game is known for, right, Jay? All the different art. There's the mermaid with the boat, and some origami rocks. Okay, so there's a card that explains the new multipliers. We already know about the lighthouse, that's and the fish, and the penguins, and the captain. So we already know about those. We already know about the octopus and the shells and the penguins and the 0-5 with the anchors. It's absolutely gorgeous. Super gorgeous, Jay. All this stuff out of there. I love this new map, by the way. It's really popping on the display there. Let's see. So we've got the explanation on the crab and the mermaids. I don't remember seeing all this in the other game. This is kind of neat. This is actually pretty cool, Jay. It's got all these reference cards that help new players out, remembering all the powers. It's got all the little details for the base game. So the fish cards, the boat cards, everything else. It's got a nice little explanation of every single one of the base game cards. And then we've got another cheat sheet for all the colors, because people forget how many colors. There's tons more dark and light blue than there are orange. Only one orange. And let's see, on the back of that we have an explanation of the seahorse and the starfish. And that's 2 of the new cards. Let me see if I can find those for you. These are the beautiful starfish. And the starfish are cool. Look at that. Even have little rocks there. If a player has a duo and a starfish card in their hand, they can form a trio, place all 3 cards. First time you can do that, you place all 3 cards down. The starfish adds 2 points to the duo. So the trio is now worth 3 points. So if you're collecting the boats and you have 2 boats, you can play the 2 boats, take another turn. Nope, it cancels the effect. So you play the 2 boats. Instead of taking another turn, you bounce the starfish on the table, and now you've got a +2 to the point ones that you have. So maybe you don't need another turn, you just want 2 more points to try to catch up or to do the last chance. The starfish can help you do that. And it looks like there are 3 of those, okay? Gorgeous. And then the really cool looking seahorse. There's only 1 of those. The seahorse says the player can use the seahorse to replace a missing collector card. Oh, so you ever chase the octopus or chase the shells and you just can't get that last one, or even the sailor or the penguin? You can get that 3rd penguin. They must have at least 1 card for that collection in their hand. They cannot gain more points than the maximum indicated on the matching collector's card. So that's pretty interesting. There's only 1 in the whole deck, though, but it could help you grab it. Yeah, so I like that. So the starfish adds 2 points to anything, any kind of collections you have of 2, but that set loses its duo's power, special powers. The seahorse, on the other hand, helps you to collect those sets that you're missing. So if you're trying to get all the octopus, or you're trying to get all the shells, or you want to get 1 more set of shells, that's going to count for it. Next up, oh yeah, Anybody from Louisiana is going to love this one, and that is the, well, they call it the lobster, and it is a lobster. It's not a crawfish, but it looks on first glance like a crawfish, and that's this one right here. That is the crawfish. 1 point for each combination of lobster and crab cards. So the player takes the first 5 cards from the deck, adds 1 of them to their hand, then returns the other 4 to the deck, and then shuffles it. So the lobsters play with the crabs. They give the crabs a different special power. Normally the crabs go into the discard, and you flip through the discard and you pick those. And it's a memory game because you have to remember what's in that discard. You have to pick one of the 2 discards and hope you pick the right one. The lobster, on the other hand, in combination with a crab, allows you to just draw 5 cards, look for one of those cards, keep it in your hand, and put the other 4 back in the deck and shuffle it. That's an interesting twist. I like that. I remember this one. This is basically a multiplier on the crabs. So now the crabs are worth 1 point per crab. I like playing the crabs, but sometimes the crabs feel less than ideal because you're not really getting any kind of big multipliers like you do with the shells or the octopuses. And they only go in the discard, and sometimes people are killing the discard, so there's not much for the crabs to do. This kind of gives you a chance to up the powers of the crabs. Then we've got the jellyfish. 1 point for each combination of swimmer and jellyfish. So instead of going swimmer shark, you're going swimmer jellyfish. Remember in the base game, the swimmer and the shark in combination when played together allow you to steal a card at random from one of the other players. This one works in tandem with the swimmer, but on the next turn, opposing players can only draw the first card from the deck. They cannot play any cards nor end the round. Okay, so basically you're forcing the other player to top deck. A little less take that, I guess. A little softer. Instead of stealing one of their cards, you're forcing them to go to the top of the deck. Interesting. I like that. And there are 2 of those there, the pink one and the purple one. So we've got just a few more cards. I like all the explanations that we have. Lots of reference cards for everybody to use. And no reason not to just throw the sea salt and paper extra salt right into the box of my base game, sea salt and paper. And hopefully I can get this played a million times during Christmas holidays because this is the perfect kind of game for my family to play. So that's a look at sea salt and paper and the extra salt expansion. Thanks to Pandasaurus Games for sending us this tiny little review copy. I did purchase the original sea salt and paper. Thanks to my buddy VJ Bell. Thanks to Jay and Kristen for getting this copy out to me. All right, we'll be streaming some more games later. Until next time, Laissez, temps, rouler.